This is Huntingdon, a few days before Armistice Day in 2023, and just behind me is the memorial, the war memorial. It's the Thinking Soldier here in Huntingdon. And Armistice Day this year, 11th of November of course, is significant for Huntingdon because it's exactly 100 years ago that this memorial was unveiled. Most of the proceeds, I believe, were arranged by the WI, and they, the Women's Institute, and many of us who respect the memory of those who fell in two world wars, will be here to pay respects. Now, this is of great significance, I believe, and grave significance at this time. I, among many other British people, are greatly concerned about the mayhem and the chaos, the disruption that has been caused in our capital city, in London, as a result of large numbers of people who want to make their opinions heard. And of course, we believe in freedom in this nation. That's why people like those who are represented here, my own father, who fought in Palestine in the Second World War against fascism and totalitarianism. That is why we believe that people should be free to express their opinions, but not to the extent that it begins to desecrate historic British monuments. And we've heard about flags of other nations or other interests or causes being placed atop our monuments. Now, we may or may not agree with what has happened in British history. That is not the point. The fact is that this is a sovereign nation. It has, the people of the nation have stood for freedom for centuries. Of course, there have been problems, and the problems will always go back to those who lead, to the politicians. So let us be very clear about that. The British Empire had many notable, serious problems about it. But those who went out, especially the Christians, the educators, the health workers, those who went out to care, were responsible for amazing and wonderful things. And you can go to many other nations, you can go to Africa, and you'll find that the memory, for example, of Dr. David Livingstone is greatly treasured, and many others who have worked amongst the poor and dispossessed. But we are living today here in Britain with something that is rather more serious, a threat that is on our own shores. It seems extraordinary to me that in the Second World War of 1939 to 1945, it was not possible for those who aggressively wanted to dominate this nation and freedom generally. They were unsuccessful. But here today, in our nation, we have already been invaded. We have porous borders. Now, if there's one thing a government must do, it is to protect the sanctity and the safety and security of our nation and of our cherished monuments, our culture, which is Judeo-Christian, and our heritage. That is the reason why people are enabled to protest and to make their views known. Try doing this in any one of the nations that actually the people who are protesting over the weekend come from or may be supporting, and you will find that that's not possible. Indeed, there's a case to be made that if those who have been protesting against Britain and our laws, our customs, our way of life, our culture, if they are so disappointed and dismayed with what goes on here, go back. I came from Sri Lanka. I don't intend to go back there, even though I love it and it's beautiful. But I've been living here since I was aged 5, and I support the customs of this nation. I salute the Union flag. Do they? If not, why not? If you cannot support the nation, its laws, its customs, its culture, then why are you here? There's no point in trying to make this place like the place you left and didn't want to stay in, as someone put on a meme recently. So I'll be here to celebrate, commemorate, reverentially and respectfully think about those who gave their sacrifices, some who made the ultimate sacrifice, and others who lived on, the widows, the children. There were great prices to be paid for the freedom that we enjoy today, and it is heartbreaking to see so many young people from millennials onwards, X, Y, and Z, unaware of what history has taught us, that there is great evil in the world that would want to take us over. Being British is a good thing. It's to be celebrated, not to be destroyed or dismantled. And the essence of the good things about being British come from our Christian heritage, from the Bible and its influence upon our lives over many centuries. So my invitation to our government, first of all, and the police, the Metropolitan Police, is please take action to ensure that there is not desecration over Remembrance Weekend and right across the nation. And it would be to all of those who want to make their voices heard, show some respect for the nation that is your host, and that gives you the opportunity, the freedom to have your view expressed in public. Show some respect and have a quiet weekend over the remembrance period, and enable all of us who are the majority in this nation the opportunity to think solemnly about the great sacrifice, and to promise to ourselves that despite everything that's going on in this nation today, it will not happen again. Freedom comes at a price, and all of us, the majority of us who believe in and love freedom, who know that the truth makes us free, we are standing for it. And so my final call is to all British people of good conscience, and any who may not be British citizens at the moment but who believe in Britain, in our values and in our Christian heritage. Stand up now. Stand up and be counted for what we believe in, and make sure our voices are heard.